This is Donna.
And this is TJ.
We're the Hills.
And this is
Dinner.
and a Marriage.
Oh, I was delayed.
You totally whacked me.
Sorry.
Welcome back.
Hello. It's been a week, and we're back. Excuse me. My mother-in-law just left today at noon, and right before she left, she took a tumble. It was pretty sad.
Wow. Why
Yeah.
are you going to tell people about that?
Oh my gosh. Because
I felt really bad.
that's what I was going to say, and she's probably going to hurt tomorrow because she's going to be in the car for a long time. And
This is true.
Hopefully she's all right. Yeah, so we had a good visit.
We did.
Do you want me to get shop talk out of the way real fast first?
If that's what you choose to do.
Are you ready?
Oh,
We
yeah.
can do it together.
Nope. We already said we will not sing anymore, especially
That's
together
a
on the
lie.
podcast. No, ma'am.
Fine. Shop talk, shop talk. Let's do a little shop talk with Donna. Yay! Like, follow, subscribe, and share. Also, please hit that notification bell so you know when we are on our YouTube. You can't do that on the podcast, I don't think. I don't think it does.
What was the word that just came out of your mouth?
I don't know, what did I say?
Podcast?
It's my lisp. No, I think you can follow because I get notifications when other podcasters podcast. So, yes, wherever you listen to podcasts, we are on there. So, please like, follow, and subscribe. Also, if you're listening on the podcast, come join us for our live looky-loo on YouTube. Right?
It's actually not live, but yeah.
Yeah. But we should do that one of these times.
Do a live?
Yeah. They do live on YouTube.
I have to
Be kinda
promote it for
cool.
like 6 weeks. Have all 7 people watch it.
Thank you, all 7 of you. Have you
Yep.
ever watched that movie with, it's with Jim Carrey and Zoe Deschanel, and she plays in a band?
Oh, yes.
Liar, is it Liar Liar?
I don't remember. No, I don't
it's
think
not
it's Liar Liar.
But he basically, Yes Man. He has to say yes to
Yes.
everything. But she's in a band, and she's got like 4 or 5 followers, and so she's like, thank you, and specifically names them all. That's what we should do. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Emma.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks, Chloe. The 4 people that watch our stuff every week. Oh, and
Dun, dun,
our
dun.
kids.
Valerie.
Christian. Valerie. Thank you
So
all.
maybe we have like, yeah, I said about 7.
7's probably
maybe
right.
it's 8.
Oh my gosh, we're dorks. So we wanted to talk about what we did while your mom was here for a minute.
We went to the house, had some food, took the dog.
That was amazing. We may have mentioned that the last time.
Maybe we did. Oh, no, I think we did.
Yeah.
But
Went to the
did we
house.
mention, then we would have already mentioned that we went and saw the Painted Desert and went to the National Forest and saw all the rocks.
I think we did. Then what do we do with the following week?
We hung out.
We just-
straight up hung out. We took tractor rides.
We did do tractor rides.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, mainly
Drinking
just
tractor
kind of
rides.
kicked it.
I found this moonshine that you can buy at the little store, and it's pretty good. My favorite one was the peach.
Oh, yeah.
I got
Watermelon moonshine.
watermelon, peach, and apple, green apple, but I like the peach the best.
Nice work. Nice
Yeah.
work.
Didn't stop me from drinking the other ones, though. Just saying. I forgot my chopstick. Kind of sad about that.
Oh. Dang
Yeah.
it, man.
Totally random. Yesterday, everyone came up to have lunch with me because I had a long day at work, and we went up to get Mexican at a place we really like. And, yeah. They were like, you know, taking it easy, whatever. It's like a slow-going restaurant. We'll bring you stuff, hang out, this, that. Yeah, I didn't get to stay for lunch. But after we're done podcasting, I'm going to get to eat my burrito.
It's the size of her head.
Yes. I probably won't eat the whole thing in
I
one
will
sitting.
eat half of it.
There you go.
We're going to
So
split
we're
it.
both going to have a burrito. But then the best thing.
Deep fried cheesecake.
Oh, yeah.
It is pretty epic.
I'll have to put a picture
Fresh,
of
it's
it
good,
right
but I'm
here.
thinking that if we stick it in the air fryer to reheat them, they will probably be fantastic because cheesecake's supposed to be cold anyways.
Yes.
So I'm really thinking about 380 for 2 minutes just to get the outside all warmed up.
Yes. Bomb.com.
Yep. Chocolate and caramel sauce.
So,
I already gained 5 pounds talking about
just
that thing.
right. I think I felt myself get a little wider.
Right?
Yes. But so, talking about stuff from work and whatever, like, I have tons of people that come into work. I'm not going to say where I work and whatever, but that want to talk to me about their views, right? Their political views or whatnot. But I did have this gentleman come in and he's telling me all about conspiracy theories and what he believes and what, like, some of it I was like, huh, that's pretty interesting. Like, as he's saying it, I thought, I mean, sure, that could be a thing, right? But, okay. Yeah, like the veteran thing I was telling you. He was saying, you know, the only reason they're getting away with doing what they're doing now, and he's talking about government, right, is because all the veterans are too old to fight back, is the gist of what he was saying, right? And I was like, okay, all right. He's like, because if they were doing that when those veterans first came back from Vietnam and whatnot, he's like, this would never have happened. They all would have told the government to shove it, in so many words.
So many words.
Yeah, he said a few choice things,
Few
but
swears.
yeah, he was really, but I'm thinking about it, right? And we get to talking about it. I was like, you know, there is so many conspiracies out there, and some of the things that I believe myself, I think, I know it might sound like a little conspiracy of sorts, but man, there's so much BS out there right now.
Well, yeah, but the fact that everybody's been convinced that still to this day that the United States is the greatest country in the world.
Well, and that's what we were saying last week, how sad that is.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean is it is still sad, but I don't personally believe that anybody should trust the government.
No.
And
Or
anybody that's trying
or
to
the
poke their nose
media.
into all aspects of your life and then make it sound like they can give you provisions to live a good life at any given point in time. If you let that happen, that can also then be stripped away from you with a quickness, or you can be compelled to do things that you wouldn't normally do so that you could keep that stuff. So, you know, that I would say
it spurred us into kind of a whole thing, because I'm like, guess who has COVID?
yes, we read that. That was in today's headlines.
Yes. The trending news. What are you doing?
There was a little spider on me.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Does he want to be your friend?
He's a jumping
He's
spider.
a jumping spider. And he jumps and he hops away. There he goes. Okay, he can go eat a bug.
Wow.
I'd rather have him in here than bugs.
Well,
so
yeah.
that's
Catch
cool.
the flies, Spider-Man.
So sorry, that was actually a spider, not a squirrel. So.
So guess who has COVID?
Ah, yes. So, okay, this is where I get. Hold on.
Wow.
No, this is where we get a little bit confusing. Wouldn't she be the 46th lady?
What do you mean? I'm confused.
I always called the first lady. Wouldn't that have only been the first one? She's like the
Yeah, but you never
46th
said
one.
so-and-so has COVID. Like, now it's just weird.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Jill Biden has COVID.
Oh.
Dr. Jill Biden.
Wait, I thought she was a teacher.
Don't teachers get doctorates?
Oh.
I don't know. She's technically has a DR. You can look it up.
Wait, a DR?
Yeah, like doctor.
Oh my
what it's
gosh.
called, right?
I know she's 73.
2.
No, I think she's 73 now. Oh, it says it right there.
Oh, a doctor of education.
Oh, she has an EDD. Ed.D. in education from the University of Delaware.
That
She-
sounds like you just gave somebody too much money for them to put a
Wow.
cool title in front of your name.
Good for her, though. She got that when she was 55.
Oh, well, whatever.
Interesting.
Sorry.
I don't know
you were
enough about the
reading that.
46th lady.
That's what I mean. Like the last lady should have been the 45th lady. That would have actually been a pretty cool title too.
45th.
Yeah. The number
Yeah.
45 is cool.
That is weird that because they're the like Biden's the
And
46th president.
It's
Why
not,
wouldn't
they
she
don't
be?
call him the first man. Then at that
Right?
point, wouldn't you just call him Adam and Eve?
Ew. Well, that's wrong. That just yeah, no, that's weird. Why
Well,
does my microphone feel so high? I feel like I'm like
maybe you're slouching.
no. Well, I don't know.
The
Maybe
thing
I
doesn't
was.
really, it's on the all the
I
way
know,
smashed
so
down,
it's okay.
so.
Anyways, guess who has COVID?
Who, dear?
Jill Biden,
Wow.
the first lady. Oh my gosh. So,
Yeah, don't edit that to that part and cut out all the coolness before it, because it was way cooler than that. So,
because we go down a rabbit hole of stuff, because,
we are retarded.
like, who the hell cares if she has COVID? Are they going to tell us when she has the flu?
There's somebody that's going to care, and they're like really worried, saying prayers, the whole deal.
This is the part that's crazy to me. Now, at this stage, I would say 90-something% of people I know have had COVID at one time or another, right?
Yep.
We
The
believed
vid.
that we had COVID before COVID was COVID, and it was a crappy, crappy cold. It was like the flu times 10, right? It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Like,
it
we were
sucked.
pretty miserable.
Yeah, it was
And
3
it-
days of
for him-
suck.
Super sucked because I've seen him get up with 100-degree temperature and still go to work. So when this hit us and he was like, I am not moving out of bed, I knew it was bad. And we both had it at the same time. We both got over it about the same time. And then when COVID was COVID at the beginning, I don't think either of us got it.
No, we didn't get it for
Yeah.
a long time. Like, year and a half?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it hit us like a ton of bricks when we got it. Like, we felt like crap for 1-2 days.
3 days.
Okay.
It was 3 days.
Yeah, and then after the third day, we were good.
Yeah,
think.
mostly good, except for that then work would be like, wow.
Well, you had a lingering cough for a little while or
well,
something.
yeah, I had a little bit of a lingering cough, but
Mm-hmm.
then, still when you're like, no, I'm cool and everything's good, they're like, wow.
And I totally
You
get
gotta
where
wait
people
for your
say,
10 days or whatever, and I was like, what?
yeah, that was, I had that too at work where it was like a week or 7 days or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You have to test negative and be out of work for a week and something. And I'm like, oh, well, okay. I guess I have some days off. But, shoot, I lost my train of thought. Oh, the whole thing, though, is like, I just don't understand how everyone doesn't get at this point. Like, it is like the flu. It's going to come back around. You're going to get it. You might not get it. Whatever. If you want to go get a COVID shot, fine. If you want to get a flu shot, fine. But if you don't, that should be fine too. Nobody should really care at this point. That's how I feel about it.
Well, yeah, but all that, I don't even care. All that whole factor of it, I'm beyond that.
Yeah.
This is my number one thing. It's medically proven that masks don't work.
Oh, yeah.
And it sounds like they might start bringing back some mask mandates, and you hear some weird stuff. Could be conspiracy theories on the internet about how September, October, November time there's going to be all this weird stuff with planes and mask mandates and all that and whatever. And this is what's funny, and I did see this, and it's one of those things where you go, right? But when in the history of the world are grown-ass men gonna go into like a grocery store or any store and have some high schooler in a mask absolutely ridicule them and tell them what they can and can't do, and are gonna bow down to it and be like, yeah, you're right? When you give all the power to the dumb people, like, I'm not saying everybody that works at stores are dumb people, but I'm just saying when you kind of pit each other against each other, and you have some people that truly in a standoff point of view would be the very, very weak people that would be annihilated, but you give them the authority and the power and the control, is like not cool, man. Like at some point, I don't know. I think that,
well, we've talked about this before, like when everything first happened, they're like, let's flatten the curve, right? And we're like, we'll totally stay home. We'll wear a mask to go to the store. Like, we didn't leave the house very much. Like,
you say we, and I missed half a day of work. But since they're not bringing the sexy back, but it sounds like they're trying to bring the COVID back, I decided to look up, okay, so what are crazy conspiracy theories? Because...
well, and that's, I guess that's what I was kind of trying to say, was like, sometimes when I say stuff, I'm like, do I sound like a crazy conspiracy person? I'm like, not meaning to, but it like hurts my soul when I hear people that I genuinely like say stuff like, oh, we might have to mask up and COVID's coming back and whatever. And I'm like, what? Do you really believe that? Like, what?
I'm just absolutely not down with the masks.
It just is so sad.
It doesn't do anything, and if you're sick and you go out and you want to put one on, that's fine, but I don't want to, and I'm not going to.
I'm not going to judge you if you do it, for sure.
Nah.
But like, looking at, and I saw something come up recently in Fauci, where he's like, I never told them to shut down the country or not to wear a mask or whatever. And then you look back, it like clips back onto everything he's ever said, and it was like, I told him to shut down the country. I told you masks don't work. I told you masks do work. I told you, like, all these.
No,
like,
it's all BS.
It's
all BS.
So crazy. But anyways, so TJ looked up conspiracy theories.
Well,
like,
this is the top 30 in
for this year, 2023
of
or
2023, like the ones that they're still talking
cool.
about and whatever. We're not going to go through all 30 because some of them are stupid, and some of it I'm just not smart enough to actually pronounce the names, and some of them I'm like, really? I don't even care about that. So
Number one
is the moon landing was fake.
I've heard this before, and there's actually, isn't there a video about it where somebody's like, look, this is all CGI'd in there?
Well, yeah, because they're trying to say that the flag moving in the wind, but there shouldn't be wind in space. No stars in the sky whatsoever behind them.
No stars.
I don't know. I still think that they did that.
I think, like,
I mean, people watched it on TV.
When that happened, there wasn't even CGI. That wasn't even a thing back then. Like, so I don't know how they could have...
No, they're saying that it was a pre-recorded deal, and then the people went up to space, and they did go to space, and they did come back, but they didn't land on the moon, and the whole moon thing was shot beforehand and whatever. That's the conspiracy.
Oh,
And it was played like, hey, check this out.
I don't know. But is it so wrong if they did that at that time? Because, like, at that time, America really needed to come together, and all those things really helped.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that lying to your citizens about anything and making them
No, I'm
believe
just
that you're
saying,
capable of
I
things that
don't
you're
think
not
lying
is the way to do it.
But are they saying it's a conspiracy because, oh, we should have never had that
no,
faith
just because
in
I think some
America?
people are like, oh, look, it's fake. And you can tell by the footage that this is fake, and then whatever. I think that's what it is, but I don't know. The government killed JFK.
I'm sure
I
that's
believe
true.
that.
That's been a conspiracy for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, and
I'm just a patsy.
I mean, he wanted to bring back the gold standard, and he wanted to do some things that were really would have been very bipartisan and cool, right? And so there were some people out there that were like, this can't get done, and
reminded
too many
me.
people liked him, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he was like the only Democrat that made sense. I think that is where people kind of turned and went, oh, Democrats are young and hip and blah, 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 was with JFK. But anyway, that reminded me, somebody else told me, had come in and said, have you heard about Texas bringing back the gold standard?
I have not. I believe that's a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
I mean,
I'd
I
never
don't.
heard about it either. He
Yeah,
just
because if a state does that, then that doesn't make any sense.
told me. Yeah.
Because you're not your own country, and you can't have a different standard of currency than like the rest of the same country that you live in. I don't believe. Like it, that just seems weird. But
It really did. Yeah, but legislatures propose gold-backed digital currency. That's what it is in Texas. So it's gold-backed.
but it's still digital.
Yeah.
So the premise of that, I don't believe in digital currency as anything that would be controlled by a government. I don't think that all the bitcoins and all that stuff of the world currently are evil, but I think that if the government has control of all the digital fake airless money that just floats and then they can attach things to it, I believe that's an extremely bad plan for all the people, not necessarily for the government. I think for them it's a fantastic
That's
plan.
not a conspiracy theory.
Oh, I know.
That, because I know personally that their government entities of sorts are really pushing to take away paper money.
Yeah.
They really want everything to be digital. Which, can you imagine? If everything's digital and everything crashes, we're all screwed.
Yes, but it's just like, so they have a lot of that going on in Canada, right? So all the truckers that push back against COVID and whatever, they went through and straight froze their bank accounts and took a bunch of their money and gave them
Seriously?
huge fines
Oh,
and
that
like
sucks.
jacked those people up bad.
That's awful.
And if you want it, I mean, right now, you know, you got a debit card, you got a bank account. The government probably knows about all your stuff anyways. I don't know. But really, if you have cash and, you know, people are still accepting cash, it's kind of hard to stop you. You can still go buy stuff. You can still go do things. Cash is really hard to trace. That's why they don't like cash. They want to track and trace everything that you do. They want to be in every single aspect of your life. That's why if you just base it on that right there and you go, you want to know too much about me, and it's not like you're trying to be like, hey, can we be friends? So it's all bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't just look at it like face value and go, it's bad, then that's just really not smart. So this one, I'd never heard this. COVID-19 was engineered by the media. They're saying that the whole entire thing was a hoax and global elite to control the population. While a diehard believer won't believe us, aka their media, we're just going to emphasize right here and right now that COVID-19 is very much a real and deadly virus.
Yeah.
So
Scroll back down for a second. Some people think the virus. So that's actually really smart. So it's smart by the media or by the government standpoint to say, oh, it was the media pushing all this.
no, it
Not-
is. They're trying
not
to
us.
give a little bit so they don't get so much blowback, but you know who it's all about. I mean,
The
really,
Earth
it
has
is.
been sucked into a black hole.
Oh my God, it got eaten by Uranus.
The European Organization for Nuclear Research, or CERN, is at the heart of a lot of crazy conspiracy theories, including the belief that when CERN was discovered,
When
Oh,
CERN
CERN dis-
discovered the Higgs boson, aka the God
God
particle,
particle.
in 2012, it inadvertently created a black hole and the Earth was sucked into it. These believers think that the world ended in 2012, but we haven't realized it yet.
oh my gosh. Did you that reminds me too. I think it was a TikTok or something where the guy's like boop, goes back like forward in time and he's like, "Oh my god, you're still alive." Talking to himself. And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Whatever happened with like the second coming and everything?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that happened. He took all the good people away. It's just us left." It's like, "Oh my god."
Ha!
And he's like, "It's great. We do anything we want." Like, oh my, that is the worst thing. I'll have to try to find that and link it. It was crazy.
This one I have not ever heard. That Walt Disney, actual Disney dude, created Frozen as a distraction.
Walt Disney? Probably
Yeah.
not. He wasn't around for that.
Okay, so people have long discussed the conspiracy theory that Walt Disney used cryogenic technology to freeze himself when he died, even though the Disney family refutes the claim. However, a new theory is that the Walt Disney Company created Frozen as a way to hack Google's search algorithm and distract consumers from information about the late Walt Disney's possible frozen procedure.
Oh. That's really kind of getting deep. That's cold, man.
You are such a dork.
I laugh at myself.
This is I'd never heard this either. And this is like the number 6.
Wow.
The Denver International Airport is the Illuminati's headquarters.
Ooh. Wow. That's cool. Why?
The Illuminati's leads to a conspiracy rabbit hole that we're not going to delve too far into, except for when it comes to the Denver International Airport. Many Illuminati believers are convinced it's the secret group's headquarters. The airport has embraced the rumors by poking fun at it, but that hasn't stopped people from believing secret tunnels and lizard lairs lurk beneath the building.
Oh, that's funny. I don't know about all that, but we were watching, oh my gosh, what's the movie about the Mormons? Or the TV, or the show that we
It's
were
like
watching.
Under Heaven's Banner or
Oh, yes.
Heaven's Banner. What's it
Yes,
called? Something
yes.
about that.
Heaven's Banner, but we're watching that, and of course, it's just day and age, I guess, but we're watching stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I liked it out. So I had to Google stuff, whatever, and look, and I was like, I didn't realize that the Mormons or Utah and whatever had so many tunnels under their city. So there's a ton of tunnels under Salt Lake that are
Really?
like, yeah, that are like supposedly
Bug out
connect like
tunnels?
the temple and other buildings and whatever, so they don't have to walk the street. Like
Oh.
it's like
All of a sudden
two-lane
reappear
street.
somewhere else and be like, I'm a body
Yeah.
double.
But I feel like because it doesn't go into that, because you know Mormons, their whole thing is really sacred, secretive, that you can't, nobody knows what actually happens in the temple. And I know when they were building those tunnels, some of them down on Temple Square when we lived there, they had all those covers over everything so you couldn't see in there. So I remember seeing that when the kids and I went down for the Christmas lights. Yeah, I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Interesting.
It'd be really cool to see that, to know where all those tunnels go. But yeah, that just reminded me when that said there are tunnels in Denver Airport. Is there tunnels in a
I'm
ton
just
of
gonna
airports?
say this, and I'm not even gonna read it because it's just kind of stupid.
The
But
Earth is hollow.
The
yeah,
Earth is
moving
hollow.
on.
right. Oh, and this one I don't know. This is a 50-50. You gonna sneeze?
Yeah. Go ahead.
The world is flat. Believe or don't believe.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I keep having to sneeze. No, I don't believe that.
Ah,
Are you
edge of
really?
the world.
Are you
No,
a
I'm kidding. I'm
flatliner?
kidding. I'm not. I'm not at
Well,
all.
are they called that? Flatliners?
No, they would be. Those were the people that killed themselves and got brought back to life in that movie with Kevin
Ah,
Bacon and what's
that's
his
a good
name?
movie.
Kiefer
Yeah,
Sutherland.
if you haven't seen that, go see it.
Yeah, it's old as fook, so
It's a great,
it's a great movie. But
great.
those are flatliners. These would be more like what the people call the
Flatlanders.
people from Phoenix, the Flatlanders.
Flatlanders. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, the Flat Earth Society has spread across the globe in recent years, with more and more people believing that the world is flat and stationary, rather than a rotating orb, as science would lead them to believe. So,
Ever been on a plane?
right? Like, there was a guy that set up this thing. I read about this last year. And I don't know, it shot some beam. It did something. It was to prove that the Earth was flat.
Oh, so it didn't
The way
arc?
the elevation change was, it like proved that the Earth had a big curvature to it. So basically proved himself wrong. I don't know. That's like, we have so many satellites and you can have pictures now, and what everybody thinks that none of that's real. This I thought is pretty dope. Because really, but Prince Charles is a vampire.
Around to suck your blood.
Why? Well, the Prince of Wales is related to Vlad the Impaler,
Oh.
the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula, and many royals in Charles' bloodline were known to have the disease porphyria.
Porphyria, which is an iron deficiency that causes people to be sensitive to sunlight. Heh. Interesting. Oh, I mean, what? I don't know. I don't know about vampires.
I don't really believe in vampires.
vampires.
I don't believe in this either. Bigfoot is real.
Now, living in Washington State, that was a big thing there. Like, oh, I've seen Bigfoot. Really? I'm pretty sure you're smoking too much weed.
Yeah, no.
I'm sure there's some scary crap out there. I think I see stuff at night all the time that I'm like, oh my god, what is that? And then you get closer, you're like, oh, that's a tree. Okay,
Right?
I'm good. But then
What kind of animal is that? It's a tree.
yeah.
But Nazis
I've
had
heard
a
that
secret
before.
base in Antarctica.
Sorry, I overread you.
You're fine.
Say it again.
The Nazis had a secret base in Antarctica.
I have heard that. I don't know if I believe it, but I've heard that.
And somebody from Cambridge, Colin Summerhays, wrote a 21-page paper disputing the theory. Yeah, it basically...
All right.
I think the only way that you see anything like that is on the Marvel movies.
Oh yeah. where
Didn't Bucky and Whatsum go and
opens
try
and
to do some stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Hmm.
We are all living in the Matrix.
I feel like that sometimes. Sometimes I'm like,
My life
I feel
is
like
not
that.
real.
I just had a glitch in the system.
This steak is not real. But I put it in my
Red
mouth.
pill, blue pill.
Oh my gosh. Purple pill.
But like the Matrix, right? And then some people correlate that with everything that's been going on. Like, which are you, the red or the blue?
I don't understand.
Like,
Because you either believe it or you don't.
yeah,
I think that it's like this.
I think there's
Whether
a,
you were to believe biblically or non-biblically, I would say based off biblically, it's basically a matrix.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So The concept is more biblical than non-biblical, but it's still true even though it's false.
Speaking of Matrix, what was the most recent one? The Matrix
We haven't seen the newest one.
I thought we did.
Nope. The new one came out and we have not seen it yet. We should probably look it up and see if maybe we can watch it. We did not watch it.
Okay. We're going to revisit that because I can guarantee that I've seen it and I don't think it's that good. But alright, go ahead. Wow. We'll revisit that.
The moon isn't real.
Huh.
It's 2023 and people believe the moon that they can see is not real.
Well, no, they think it's not real because they think it's been put out there by something else.
Okay, so this is where you know the whole thing is all BS anyways. That's right, some people think the moon doesn't exist. This conspiracy theory has gained particular traction with flat earthers, and they think the moon is simply a projection.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I don't believe that.
They talked to the dude from Wizard of Oz, and they're like, could you
project
stay in your curtain thing
everywhere.
And do this and do every day, and then it's got to fall this way, and certain times every 10 years or so you got to make that bitch really bright.
And if you've ever noticed, and I feel like now that we're like out here, you'll see the moon all day long, right?
That's
like,
cool.
Oh, the moon's still out. So in this part of the world, they're like, don't worry, just leave it on.
Right?
No.
This one I've never even heard this.
That.
The Titanic didn't actually sink.
Okay.
Saying it's the Olympic that crashed into the iceberg, not the Titanic. But one sad fact remains, a ship did sink and approximately 1,500 passengers were killed.
Well, then what happened to the Titanic
I
if
have
it
no
wasn't
idea.
that
It doesn't
one?
say. But that's what I mean. It's just dumb.
That is dumb.
Apollo 17 wasn't the last moon mission.
Well, it goes back to that whole thing about did they land or not. I don't know. So yeah.
Yeah,
What
no.
was that show I used to watch where they were all going to the moon and stuff, and then they had a...
Oh, I
Remember that
don't know the
one?
name of it, but I know what show you're talking about.
That one was super interesting and had a lot of correlation with reality, but then it goes really askew after a while, but...
Okay, so
I'll
this
have to
is,
look
I
that
think, crazy.
Okay.
This is 2023 we're talking about. This is on a list. This is number 16, okay? Zombies can rise from the dead.
What?
The belief in zombies can be traced back to ancient Greece, when they buried their dead with stones on top of them so they couldn't return from the grave. Even today, some people prepare for the zombie apocalypse just in case. Okay, so don't believe that anything rises from the dead like that. And I can say this, that if it doesn't rise from the dead, it's not a zombie. So zombies aren't real.
Oh my gosh.
Bill Gates is making fake snow.
Oh, what can't he do?
Says with extreme weather conditions occurring across the United States in 2021, TikTokers stoked the fires on Bill Gates' conspiracy theory that he was creating fake snow that burns instead of melts. Spoiler alert, he wasn't.
Right? He's also creating fires and hurricanes. Like, I've heard all that too.
No, I heard, what I did hear is that he wants to
Oh my goodness.
go up and take this certain kind of dust into the atmosphere. And it goes right, like, into the upper atmosphere where it doesn't necessarily fall back down, but it doesn't go out into space or something, and basically put like a screen all around the world so that they can lower the temperature of the earth by like 2 to 3 degrees to stop global warming.
Oh. So, speaking of the global warming thing, so that guy that we were looking up, John, what was his name? O'Looney. So he was a funeral director, or maybe still is, I'm not sure, in the UK. And I tried to Google. There's a lot of lots of interviews and things about him, but the last thing I saw about him, I feel like it's been like a year, but he's basically blowing everything up, saying, this is really what's happening behind the scenes. And I'll put a link to a couple things down on there. But one of the things he had said was, this is that the whole COVID thing is, they're going to make it sound like it's all caused by global warming. Everything that's happening, that, the government will come out and say global warming is what's causing everything to occur. And I was like, interesting.
So this is another thing that we'll end on this, I think, because I don't want to read these anymore because some of these are a little bit weird. But
yeah, kind of.
So this is something that I read the other day. So the top 5 insurance companies in the United States, like, I don't remember who all of them are. Like State Farm was one of them. All the top, whatever the
Farmers.
top 5 biggest are, they're going to stop providing hurricane insurance for places that get a lot of hurricanes.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
I remember
now,
this.
Just hear me out for a second. They're going to not provide wind insurance for places that are windy. So whatever it is, like no fire insurance in California where they have like lots of fires and stuff. Like
no earthquake coverage.
yeah,
For people
like
in
all this stuff that
earthquake
you could
regions.
typically maybe pay a higher premium for where you live there. Like if I was in Florida, I'd be like, hell yeah, I want hurricane insurance.
Right.
And they're like, well, that's going to be another $100 a month.
Yeah.
Like, well, do it.
Yeah, if you're in
Because,
New Orleans, you
right?
want
Like
flood
insurance, all that
Right?
stuff. So you have all these people that have lived on the coast forever.
Mm-hmm.
Still a conspiracy theory. So if they decide to not provide those people with those type of insurances anymore,
Well,
you
why
think-
would they?
Yeah, well, I don't know, but
let me just put a snippet in there real quick.
You're not letting me finish, but yes,
I'm
go
going to
ahead.
let you finish. I totally am.
Mm-hmm.
But are they thinking like, we don't really have to do that because the government's going to bail them out anyways?
No, you got to think way bigger. So it's kind of along the same thing of this. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of huge elites, and Oprah owns a ton of land
Oh my gosh.
right by
Yes.
where all the fires were in Maui.
Yes.
Now they have people going in there trying to buy up all that land because now it's worthless.
Yeah.
Because it's all burned to the ground.
Uh-huh.
But could be rebuilt by people that had a lot of money and be
Yeah.
worth a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So let's say that you are living in an area where you can't get homeowners insurance for certain things and whatever, and maybe there is a hurricane and your house gets wiped out, and then you're shit out of luck and you're like, bam, and whatever.
Oh, but
then you're going to
Biden
file
was giving
bankruptcy,
them
but
each
people are going to be able to
$200.
buy those properties for pennies on the dollar. And some people might want to just get out and sell their houses because they're not going to be able to insure them anyways. And isn't it weird that they're doing it right at the height of when like interest rates are really dumb?
Yeah.
So you're not going to get top dollar for your house regardless because you can't be paying the higher premium price and then doing the higher percentage
And then
rates.
rentals in Hawaii are so ridiculous.
Yes. And so I'm just saying.
But going back to your Oprah thing, I did see something about that. So Oprah and The Rock came out and were like, oh, we want you guys. Please help us save Hawaii. Give money, blah, blah, blah. All the comments are the best. They're like, hello, billionaire, millionaire. You own all this property in Hawaii, and you're asking us, who can barely go to the friggin' grocery store and buy our own food, to give money? You guys could give a small portion of money to all these people in Hawaii that this happened to and still be millionaires, billionaires. Don't ask us common folk.
That's the thing, right? And that's where I'm not going to judge anybody on what you do with your money if you have a ton of money. I know that if I was extremely rich or if I won the lottery or something weird, I wouldn't be extremely wealthy because there's a lot of good things that I would want to do with it. But I wouldn't be donating it to certain charities and having it be where, you know, it basically 50% of it gets wasted away through just all this stuff. I would physically want to just be on a little mission and go help people. Like that's what I would do.
Yeah,
but if
because
those
you
people
never know
don't,
what corporations are going to be good. Because,
yeah,
like, the whole thing with Operation Underground, like, everything you read about initially and whatever seems so great. But then, I don't know, and you don't know what's right, what's wrong, what they're actually doing. You don't see the behind the scenes with the books. But then there's all these people saying, oh, Operation Underground is actually really horrible. But are they, or is somebody making them be? Like,
no, it is,
spinning
and that's what it is. That's where it's like, oh, if you can give $500 or $100, let's just say this. You give $100 and you're like, I'm giving $100. That's got to go help somebody, whatever. But in the reality of everything, after you hand over that $100, by say the time it gets down to the person that it's helping, it's like $5. Because of all of the BS in between, right?
Yeah.
So and I get that there's always logistical stuff and things that have to be paid for and whatever, but then, you know, are all the people that are really running it, like, not funneling it, and are they not really taking a little extra piece for themselves? And I don't know. I think that there's, like, why are all not-for-profits so profitable?
Right? Because you got to pay all the non-profiting people profit.
But yeah, that's why I'm just saying, take a look at it and, you know, pay attention and see what happens with all the homeowners insurance with all that stuff, because it will definitely lower the value of properties. I think that's something that the government has got together with the insurance companies and said,
I'm sure that's
we
the
need to
intent.
get a handle on the housing market, and people are like, house prices are still going up even though we've raised the federal interest rate for the last 2 years.
Yeah, because just look at, so the cost of property where we are is doubled from when we purchased it.
Yes.
And that's like,
And that's still nothing in the grand scheme of where houses like where we used to live are worth.
oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Or like even down by where my mom and Lee and Trevor live, like out there, it's still crazy too.
Oh,
House
yeah.
prices and stuff.
For sure. It is. All of it is just nuts. And no one, they're just pushing it so no one can afford it. And like swinging back to Oprah and The Rock, and I don't know anything about their finances. I know they both have a crap ton of money, like on the books. They may donate to a bunch of stuff. Who knows? But just come on, know your audience. Don't ask people that, the common people, like, hey, donate all your. No, go to people you know that have money, that those people, like the government that gave all this money to Ukraine but can't do the same for its own people.
Right.
Like,
That's
there's so
where
many
there's-
illegals right now. Like, New York's being overrun, I've heard, in all the boroughs and stuff and they're just giving it to them. Like, you're staying in a hotel, you're getting meals, you're getting daycare, you're getting. What about the people that need it here? Like, your American citizens. Those people that need that help.
Yep.
So, on that note,
Well, yeah.
That's
I don't know.
who I would wanna help.
I'm curious about the whole insurance thing, because then some of my weird conspiracy theories in my brain will be set at ease, and then I will just be what's called a truth teller or a truth seeker.
yeah.
Well, it's because there's a dude on the internet, I forgot his name, but he said one thing. He's like, you really believe climate change is real? He was like, if climate change was real and the oceans were going to rise and there was all this crap and whatever, no one would loan money to buy a house on any coast.
Yeah, for sure. You would think.
It's like, seriously, get a clue. But now...
But wouldn't they? Because they're just about getting the money. So it's like this. You own money on a car, right? Say you get a car loan.
Okay.
Is that wind?
That's the wind and the tapping of the deal.
Whoa.
It
That
is...
got real windy real quick.
That's the... We need to go check the pergola. That's that noise.
Wow. Sorry.
I might need to take the canopy off of that little bad boy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
we're going to have
Well,
to go.
We're going to peace out and try
Bye.
to make sure that we don't harm our insurance company.
See you next week. And before you go, visit us on our social medias at Linktree/The Hills on Wheels, linktr.ee/The Hills on Wheels, no spaces.